I think anyone running a business right now, especially if you're dealing with physical products, it feels like you're running an obstacle course just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
You've got tariffs and supply chains that are constantly shifting.
Unpredictable.
So much unpredictability, and you're always trying to find those clever ways to keep costs down.
Absolutely.
And, we're all looking for a smarter way to do business.
Right.
So if you've been thinking there's got to be a better, a more cost-effective, a more strategic approach,
Yeah.
especially when you think about manufacturing, then this is the deep dive you've been waiting for.
Yeah, you're right on the money. Because today we're diving into a country that you might not immediately think of when you're thinking about manufacturing. It's Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Might not be the first place that comes to mind.
Not the first, not the first.
But it offers some really compelling possibilities, especially if you're in the U.S. paper planner business.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we're going to look at how this Southeast Asian nation offers this really interesting blend of affordability and potential for real quality and some pretty smart logistical advantages.
Okay, so to help us understand this and to get an insider's perspective, we're really leaning on insights from Lion Paper.
Absolutely.
Now, they run a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility right in Cambodia, so they're not just talking about it.
Right in the thick of it.
They're actually doing it every day.
Yeah.
So think of this as getting a practical, real-world understanding of what's actually possible.
That's exactly right. We want you to come away from this deep dive with a solid understanding of the real-world benefits
Okay.
of actually thinking about making your paper planners in Cambodia.
Uh.
We want you to have that aha moment
Uh-huh.
about your supply chain and how you can make it even better.
So let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
And the place we always got to start is cost.
Of course, yeah.
It's a huge factor.
It's critical.
And this is where Cambodia seems to offer a real advantage.
Yeah, it does.
We're talking about seriously lower labor costs compared to the big manufacturing places like China or even Vietnam.
Yeah, and you know what's really interesting about that is it's not just about, oh, I'm going to save a few bucks on production.
Right.
That lower labor cost means you free up all kinds of resources in your business. So instead of a big chunk of your budget going to just making the things, you can take those savings and pump them into marketing, do some R&D, develop some cool new products, or you can even play around with your pricing.
So you have more flexibility.
You've got all these options.
Oh, that's really smart.
Yeah, you can be more strategic with your money.
It's not just about finding the cheapest labor.
No, not at all.
And it sounds like Lion Paper isn't just relying on those lower labor costs either.
Right.
They've really embraced something they call lean manufacturing principles in their factory in Cambodia.
Yeah, that's key for them.
So can you walk us through what that actually looks like in action on the factory floor?
Sure. Lean manufacturing is all about doing more with less.
Okay.
It's about squeezing every bit of efficiency out of every single step in the process, and at the same time being super careful not to waste anything.
So not just materials, but...
Not just materials, but time, effort, everything.
Got it.
So over in Cambodia, Lion Paper has a really skilled local workforce, and these people know how to do intricate, detailed work.
Okay.
And they combine those skills with some pretty clever automation technologies.
So you've got that human touch and the technology.
Exactly. They work together hand in hand.
I like it.
Yeah. So they're not just saving money on labor, they're using materials wisely, and they're speeding up the whole production timeline.
More with less.
More with less all the way.
And I'm seeing that their clients are reporting some pretty amazing cost reductions.
Oh, yeah. The numbers are impressive.
We're talking savings up to 20% compared to manufacturing in other Asian countries.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of change.
That's a lot. So give me an example, a real-world example of how this actually plays out.
Okay, so picture this. You've got a stationery brand based in the U.S. They're feeling the pinch just like everybody else.
Tariffs, labor going up.
Yeah, tariffs are up. Labor costs in China are through the roof.
Yeah.
So they decide, you know what? Let's try Cambodia.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's move production to Lion Paper.
Okay.
The result, they cut their production costs by 18%.
Wow, 18%? That's a big number.
That's real money.
That's real money? That's the kind of saving that can make or break a business.
Absolutely can transform your bottom line.
And it sounds like this company, they were able to lower their prices here in the U.S.?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. They were able to become more competitive.
More competitive, and that's how you win.
That's the name of the game.
Okay, so cost is a big driver, obviously.
Of course.
But it's not the only thing, especially when you're talking about something like a paper planner.
Right.
It's a product that people want to feel, want to touch.
Yeah.
Has to look good.
It's tactile, it's got an aesthetic, it's got to appeal to the senses.
So that brings up Cambodia's reputation for really high-quality craftsmanship, which is something you don't always think about with manufacturing.
You know, it's a really interesting point. You don't always associate high-end craftsmanship with modern manufacturing.
Not the first thing that comes to mind.
But Cambodia's got this rich history of artisans and craftspeople.
Okay.
And that tradition, those skills that have been passed down for generations, they really lend themselves to making those beautiful, high-quality paper planners.
Wow, I would never have thought of that connection.
It's a perfect fit.
So explain that a little more.
So think about it. You need precision for the binding. The stitching has to be strong and durable. And then there are all those little finishing touches that elevate a planner from ordinary to special.
The details.
The details. It's all about the details.
So it's not just about churning out tons of planners, it's about creating something special.
Exactly. It's about that artistry that elevates the product.
It makes it more valuable.
Yeah, people are willing to pay for that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And it seems like Lion Paper really gets this.
They do. They've invested heavily in training programs in their factory in Cambodia.
Oh, wow.
They want to make sure their workforce is top-notch, meeting and exceeding international standards.
Okay.
And they're super serious about quality control. They're checking everything at every stage of the game.
I like that they're not cutting corners.
No, they're all about quality from start to finish.
So do you have a specific example of a company that benefited from this?
Yeah, there's this U.S. luxury planner brand.
Okay, high-end.
High-end stuff. And they were looking for a partner who could deliver those intricate designs, those hand-stitched bindings.
The details again.
The details that scream luxury,
Yeah.
And they found that partner in Lion Paper.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, the reviews came pouring in and people were raving about the craftsmanship.
Uh-huh. So it's not just about saving money.
No, it's not.
Cambodia can really deliver on quality, too.
They can deliver even when the standards are sky high.
Okay, so we've got cost savings, we've got high-quality craftsmanship.
Check and check.
Now let's tackle the thing that gives everybody a headache, tariffs.
Oh, yeah. The tariff monster.
But it sounds like Cambodia has a real advantage here, too, thanks to those friendly trade agreements with the U.S.
Yeah, those trade agreements are a lifesaver.
Explain.
Okay, so those agreements can slash those tariffs way down, sometimes even eliminate them altogether.
Wow.
And for certain types of goods coming from Cambodia to the U.S.,
Like paper planners.
like paper planners, we're talking 0 tariffs.
0. That's amazing. So how does that directly help a U.S. paper planner company if they're thinking about manufacturing in Cambodia?
Think about it. No tariffs mean your products cost less to bring into the country.
Okay.
And you can pass those savings on to your customers.
Lower prices, everybody wins.
Exactly. Or you can keep those savings and boost your profits.
Also good.
Yeah, and it can be a huge help for new brands or smaller companies that are trying to get a foothold in the U.S.
Makes it easier to get started.
Levels the playing field.
So not having to worry about those big import taxes gives you a competitive edge.
Big time.
And it sounds like Lion Paper, they're perfectly positioned to take advantage of these trade agreements.
They're already there in Cambodia,
They're already there,
ready to export to the U.S. with almost no tariffs to worry about.
so their clients are saving money.
Saving money, smoother importing process, it's a win-win.
Okay, give me a real-world example of how this works in practice.
Okay, we've got this mid-sized stationery retailer in the U.S.
Okay.
They were importing from China, and those tariffs were eating into their profits.
Ouch.
So they said, enough is enough.
Yeah.
We're switching to Lion Paper in Cambodia.
Okay, bold move.
And guess what? Their import taxes dropped by 15%.
15%, that's huge.
It's massive, especially when you're working with tight margins.
That can make all the difference.
It's the difference between struggling and thriving.
Okay, so we've talked about cost advantages,
Yeah.
the potential for amazing craftsmanship, the tariff benefits.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But there's another big thing consumers are really focused on these days, sustainability.
It's a big deal.
What's the story in Cambodia specifically with Lion Paper when it comes to being eco-friendly?
Well, Cambodia is really making strides in adopting sustainable manufacturing practices.
Okay, good.
In Lion Paper, they're leading the charge.
Okay, so tell me more about what they're actually doing to be more sustainable.
They're really focusing on the basics like using recycled paper, natural inks, sustainable materials wherever possible.
Okay, that's a good start.
Yeah, and they're not stopping their day. They're investing in energy-efficient technology to reduce their environmental footprint.
So they're really thinking about the whole picture.
They are, and they're going for those international sustainability certifications to prove they're walking the walk.
I like that they're holding themselves accountable.
It's important to have those standards.
So what specifically are they doing at their factory in Cambodia to make it more sustainable?
Okay, so they're using water-based inks and soy-based dyes.
Okay.
Much better for the environment than those nasty solvent-based ones.
Right.
And they're using recyclable packaging to cut down on waste.
Makes sense.
And here's the kicker. They're even using solar power.
Solar power. Wow, they're going all in.
They're serious about reducing their reliance on fossil fuels.
That's really impressive. And I'm betting that resonates with a lot of consumers these days.
Oh yeah, people want to buy from companies that care about the planet.
It's not just a trend, it's a value.
It's a way of life for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And it can make a real difference for a brand's bottom line.
Yeah, it can really boost your image and attract new customers.
Did Line Paper give you an example of this?
They did. They told me about a U.S. planner brand that's super focused on eco-friendly products.
Okay,
It's a core part of their brand identity.
got it.
And they teamed up with Lion Paper to create a whole line of sustainable planners.
So what was the outcome?
Well, their existing customers loved it. Their loyalty went up. And they attracted a whole bunch of new customers who were drawn to their sustainability efforts.
So being eco-friendly helped them grow their business.
It did. It made a real difference.
Okay, so we've talked about the money, the quality, the tariffs, the sustainability.
That's a lot.
But now let's talk logistics.
The nuts and bolts.
How do you get those planners from Cambodia to the U.S.?
Right.
What are the advantages there?
Well, Cambodia's location in Southeast Asia is actually a big plus.
Okay.
It's right near those major shipping routes.
Okay.
So that means shorter shipping times and lower transportation costs for U.S. businesses.
So shorter lead times.
Exactly.
And that's a huge advantage in today's market.
Huge. You got to be able to move quickly.
You got to be nimble.
Things change fast. You
Right.
got to be able to react.
Adapt or die.
Pretty much. And Line Paper, they've got these well-established shipping networks.
Okay.
So they can get those planners delivered quickly and efficiently, whether you're a big retailer or you're selling directly to customers online.
Smooth operation.
Smooth as silk.
So tell me about a company that really benefited from this.
Oh, yeah. There was this U.S. e-commerce planner brand
Online.
online, and they were having trouble getting their products restocked fast enough.
That's a problem.
It's a killer.
Yeah.
So they switched to the Lion Paper in Cambodia, and bam, their shipping time dropped by 30%.
Wow, 30%. That's a big improvement.
It's huge, and their customers were a lot happier.
Happier customers. That's what it's all about.
That's the key to success in e-commerce.
Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about the overall business climate in Cambodia.
Yeah.
How supportive is the government when it comes to attracting foreign investment and making trade easier?
Well, the Cambodian government is really rolling out the red carpet for foreign investors.
Okay.
They want to make it as easy as possible for companies to come in, set up shop, and grow their businesses.
So they're being proactive.
They're not sitting around waiting. They're making things happen.
I like that.
Yeah, they're streamlining things, making it easier to do business.
So they're creating a good environment for businesses like these U.S. paper planner companies.
Exactly. They want to make Cambodia the go-to place for manufacturing.
So it's not just the location or the cost savings, it's the whole package.
The whole package, they're thinking strategically.
Smart.
Yeah.
So what are some of the specific incentives or policies they've put in place?
Okay, so they're offering tax breaks for certain types of investments.
Okay, that's good.
And they've made it much easier to register your business and get all the necessary approvals.
Less red tape.
Less red tape, more action.
I like it. So it sounds like Lion Paper being there in Cambodia, they're reaping the benefits of these government initiatives.
Oh, yeah. They're right in the sweet spot.
And that helps them offer even better deals to their clients.
Absolutely. They can pass those savings along.
Everybody wins. Now, they also mentioned something called the GSP Certificate of Origin.
Oh, yeah. That's an important one.
Can you break that down for us? Why is that relevant here?
Sure. So the GSP Certificate of Origin, it's basically a document that says, hey, these goods, they came from Cambodia
Okay.
and they meet all the requirements.
So it's like a stamp of approval.
It is. And it means Those goods can get preferential treatment when they're imported into countries like the U.S.
So lower tariffs or even no tariffs.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it.
So Lion Paper, having that certificate, it really helps their clients save money.
It's a big deal. It makes a real difference.
Okay, so to wrap things up, you mentioned another case study.
I did.
What was that about?
Okay, so this was a U.S. wholesaler,
Okay,
and they were looking for a reliable manufacturing partner,
of course.
but they wanted somewhere with minimal hassle.
They didn't want to deal with a lot of bureaucracy.
Exactly. They wanted things to be smooth.
So they chose Lion Paper in Cambodia.
They did, and they said the whole setup process was a breeze.
So easy to do business.
Easy peasy. They were able to expand their product line way faster than they thought they could.
So Cambodia, it's not just about cost savings. It's about ease of doing business.
It's the whole package.
It's about a supportive environment.
They're making it attractive for foreign businesses.
Okay, so let's recap all those amazing advantages we've talked about.
Let's do it.
We've got the potential for significant cost savings,
Check.
skilled craftsmanship that can produce truly high-quality products,
Check.
big financial benefits from those favorable trade agreements, including that possibility of zero tariffs,
Check.
a growing commitment to sustainable manufacturing practices,
Check.
the strategic location that makes logistics efficient,
Check.
and a government that's really supportive and wants to attract foreign investment.
Check. Check. Check.
That's a lot of checks.
It's a pretty compelling picture, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
I mean, for U.S. paper planner businesses that are trying to make sense of this crazy global supply chain,
Yeah.
Cambodia with a solid partner like Lion Paper,
They seem like a great option.
it's a really interesting alternative.
It's not just about saving money. It's about future-proofing your business.
It's about resilience. It's about being competitive in the long run.
It makes you think about how the whole global trade landscape is changing
It's constantly evolving.
and understanding these new manufacturing hubs, these up-and-coming places.
Yeah,
It's not just about your profits today.
right.
It's about being able to adapt and innovate and stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. You got to be thinking 5, 10 years down the road.
So what other hidden gems are out there?
I don't know, but I bet there are more than we realize.
Maybe we need to look beyond the usual suspects.
I think that's a great idea.
Think outside the box.
Sometimes the best opportunities are the ones you least expect.
And if you're in the paper planner business, Cambodia, with a partner like Lion Paper,
It's definitely worth exploring.
they're inviting businesses to reach out to them to learn more.
Go for it. What are you waiting for?
What have you got to lose?
Nothing to lose, everything to gain.
It's all about exploring those possibilities.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe you'll find your next big breakthrough.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep exploring.